What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Well, in today's video, we're going to be going over some Blackrock news that we got last night that has shook up the market and made people even more excited about what the future could hold for Bitcoin. And so with that in mind, let's not waste any more time and let's get straight into the video. So looking at the overall market today, I mean, things have been absolutely ridiculous. You know, $1.3 trillion market cap for Bitcoin, $66,000 currently. We were a couple $100s off of the all-time high last night before we did see this little pullback. But that is normal. I mean, you got to think about the resistance. We're going to see at an all-time high. It's been nuts, right? We have Ethereum up to $3.7 thousand. I mean, guys, Tether is at $1. Huge price movement there. Chill. BNB's at $420. Solana's at $131. XRP pushing 64 cents. Cardano pushing 77 cents. Dogecoin pushing 18 cents. A 94% gain over the last 7 days. I mean, this is ridiculous. It's not usual that you're going to see Bitcoin rallying and meme coins rallying at the same exact time. It's odd, honestly. It's purely odd at this point, and it's not something that I've seen before. I mean, Shiba Inu's up 294% in the last 7 days. It's just not common. It's not usually what happens, especially considering Solana's up 18%, BNB's up 5%, Ethereum's up 14%. It's so different. It's so different, and it almost makes me feel as if we're having one previous microcycle ending, which microcycles generally end with meme coins, of course, pumping, and then a new microcycle is beginning at the same time. It's different. It's weird. It's hard to explain. But yeah, it's an interesting market. But nonetheless, we are seeing ridiculous gains. Looking at crypto bubbles to get outside the top 10 a little bit real quick. What we can see here is, I mean, you know, generally a green day, right? Obviously some big movers, Shiba, Internet Computer, Theta, STRK, XCC, all putting in some good gains, but obviously things have slowed down a little bit for some of your bigger alts. You know, you can see your XLMs and your WLDs, and of course your, I saw it over here, yeah, Jasmine, and some of these other ones kind of pulling back a bit. So pretty balanced day, but obviously on the week, still incredibly bullish. On a month, even more bullish. On the year, even more bullish. Okay, and so with that in mind, obviously just kind of paying attention to this thing, the market's looking extremely good. Now, to add a little bit of fuel to that good fire, we can see here that we got news last night that BlackRock was looking to include Bitcoin exposure in other funds. Now, Tyler, what does that mean? Well, BlackRock obviously has multiple funds. They offer multiple funds for multiple different clients. Why do they do that? Well, they do that obviously because they want to be able to make as many different funds or things for their clients to invest in, make it a little bit simpler, in order to appeal to as many different people as possible. BlackRock's whole idea and the whole goal of theirs is to get as many clients on as possible, right? And so clearly they couldn't just have one or two funds. They need a bunch of different funds to make them applicable to as many clients as possible to get their assets under management. Once they get their assets under management, they can charge a fee. Once they charge a fee, they make more money. Obviously, now they're not brand new to this. Clearly, obviously, you guys know BlackRock has around $10 trillion in assets under management, which makes them pretty much in control of, a portion of the world to some degree, if we're going to be honest here. So with that in mind, this is big. Why is this big? Well, this means that they're doubling down on their decision. They're doubling down on their decision in the sense that not only have they wanted to create their own funds, now they want to add Bitcoin exposure to other funds. What does that mean? It means that they're going to need more Bitcoin to have exposure to other funds. What does that mean? They're buying more Bitcoin. Why do you think they're buying so much? They realize that the gains that they're seeing from Bitcoin could continue. The growth they're seeing from Bitcoin could continue. And as a result of that, they want to continuously build more exposure into other funds to be applicable to other people, to get this thing out there, to expand and grow adoption of Bitcoin. Absolutely huge. Let's talk about it a little bit. You can see here that the asset manager has filed an amendment to include Bitcoin exposure in a strategic income opportunities fund, the BSIIX. They go on to say that, of course, BSIIX's total fund size stood at about $36.5 billion, while its share class total net assets were $24 billion as of March 1st. The fund typically invests in fixed income securities and other market sectors under certain conditions. According to the filing date, March 4th, BlackRock intends to procure shares and exchange traded products that closely track the performance of Bitcoin's price by directly holding the digital asset. That's important, because sometimes we will see that these different ETFs, especially if they're not a spot ETF, are just going to track its performance but not necessarily hold the underlying asset in order to track its performance. They're saying that they're going to acquire that asset to track its performance. That's different because that means they have to buy it. They have to pull from the Bitcoin supply, causing that supply shock, which is what got us here in the first place. They went on to say that this includes a potential acquisition of shares from a Bitcoin ETP sponsored by a BlackRock affiliate, like its in-house iShares Bitcoin Trust and other spot Bitcoin ETFs that were recently approved. Finally, they say that the fund may acquire shares in exchange traded products that seek to reflect generally the performance of the price of Bitcoin by directly holding Bitcoin. We love that they say that, including shares of Bitcoin ETP sponsored by an affiliate of Blackrock. And so, yes, this means that they are going to be buying more Bitcoin. And I think this is just the start of the snowball. I think that they're going to recognize the true potential here. I think they're going to recognize that they've missed out. I think some of their other clients that weren't directly involved with this are going to say, like, say for example, if you have a major client that's holding one of your funds, or has a ton of money invested in one of your funds, and then they see some other of your clients doing extremely well because one of those other funds was invested in Bitcoin, they're going to say, well, I want exposure to that, right? And you're going to start to see this snowball effect in which more and more of their clients are going to want a piece of the cake, right? They're going to have FOMO. I've been messaged personally by 5, 6, 7 people in real life in the last 2 days asking about crypto. What do you think BlackRock's going through, right? And so by increasing their exposure to Bitcoin, by increasing it, it tells us that not only are they getting, asked by other clients to get that exposure, but they're recognizing the business opportunity here. And you don't understand when a company of this size has, is backing something like Bitcoin, it can change everything. It genuinely can change everything because they're an industry leader. And when they do things, many people follow. And I think that we could see this continue. Now, as a result of this, again, this came out roughly about 12 hours ago, and that was kind of right around the top of this. And it's no shocker there, right? Huge news does generally correlate to, the top of these little cycles. But at the end of the day, I mean, the fact that we came this close to that all-time high is absolutely wild, right? I mean, I'm not going to say who would have thought this would happen, right? Because we said that it could happen, but the method and the manner in which it has happened has been absolutely insane. What would I be doing at this given point? I would definitely be calming down a little, okay? I, for sure as hell, wouldn't be doing a lot of buying of Bitcoin directly at its all-time high, or even this close to it. That just doesn't make any sense. Now, the last time that I personally did buy was on this little back test right over here, once we did get that breakout. Let me go to the 30-minute charts and you can see what happened. So in the last couple, like 14th of February to roughly 26th of February, that was the last time I was doing some dollar cost averaging on Bitcoin. You guys know, and I did tell you about that. HG Algo was flashing the entire way. HG Algo is the indicator that my company did design, so I know it works. I do all of my investing based off of it now because I don't have time anymore, honestly, to base my investing off of anything else. And as you can see, DC Algo was flashing. These DCA plus features means to buy in, and obviously I was DCAing on the majority of these. I didn't catch every one because I was busy, but I did catch a lot of them. And so the last time that I was personally buying some Bitcoin was roughly around this $50,000 to $51,000 level. And since then, I mean, this thing has obviously done extremely well. I mean, roughly up 30% on my Bitcoin holdings since then. And these were pretty decent sized buys, not huge buys, but decent sized buys. And obviously I was buying along the way up as DC Algo was flashing as well. And so as you can see here, HG Algo with the DCA plus feature has just been absolutely insane. You guys know we released it last month. It was something that we worked on for over 6 months. It's done extremely well. It has literally changed my entire life in terms of how I invest. It's made it automatic for me, and I have made ridiculous gains as a result of it. And so if you do want to use it yourself, you can check out the links down below. But it just goes to show, right? I'm not buying right now. I was buying back here at $50,000 to $51,000. I don't see a point in dollar cost averaging in right here, right under the all-time high, especially when there is a threat that we will pull back. We could pull back as low as $50,000. That is possible. Don't let anyone convince you it's not. And so because of that, obviously, yes, there, long-term macro sense, this could be a decent buying opportunity, but I think there have been better ones. And I would at least let Bitcoin show that it can clear 69,000. Let it break into the 70,000s if you are going to be buying, because again, the threat of being pulled back here off of a double top or off of a previous all-time high and the threat of creating a double top, I just don't see the point as to why you would be FOMOing in right here. Okay, so I think maybe just hold off a little bit, let it cool down, either let it pull back or let it show it can break through resistance, and then you'll kind of be able to gauge in which manner in which you should be able to dollar cost average in. But obviously I'll keep you guys updated. So that's just my opinion. That's what I'm doing with Bitcoin right now and what I'm doing in terms of buying. Again, I do use HG Algo for literally everything, so you can check out that down in the description below, or you can check out my Patreon. I also purchase my buys there. But overall, if you guys did enjoy today's video, please do let me know by smashing the like button. I want to cover more news. I want to cover more broad market stuff, so I hope you guys do enjoy these big updates, and of course I will see you on next time. Peace out, everybody.